get so caught up in the day-to-day, just keeping your head down and how we can survive. We float by each other like ghosts every day. We click to destroy the fight with one another. Complacent with the fact that our systems are broken, with the fact that the top 10 will always be first in line, the fact that we are killing our planet and allowing them to keep us divided. We must stand together and rise up. It's time we wake up, and that is a difficult truth.
Welcome to the Monday stream. It is Labor Day. I hope everyone's having an awesome day off. Today we will be joined momentarily, I hope, at some point, by our co-host who is also off today, so yay. We may get to see some chickens. We may get to see some chickens. We may get to see some gardening. Maybe we'll get to see some cats as well. Maybe. It isn't Saturday Catterday, but maybe. Unfortunately, just because it is Labor Day, doesn't mean that the news stops. So we definitely have quite some headlines to go through, and we also have our journey going through the technical summary of the IPCC report to go through. So, lots of stuff. New poll indicates that people of Texas are disapproving in the direction that Texas is going. That's interesting. New polling from the Texas Politics Project asked voters whether they thought the state was headed in the right direction. Just 35% of those polls say yes. 52% thought that they thought Texas was on the wrong track. This is interesting. It seems like at some point, gross incompetence just can't be ignored. Regardless. That's what this is telling me. Quote, "This is really an eye-opener for us," Jim Henson, executive producer and director of the Texas Politics Project at the University of Texas. Henson added that the poll was tracked this question since 2009. This is the highest negative reading ever for this poll. Holy yikes, Batman. Hey, Buck Dragon, how's it going? Howdy. This is the highest negative reading ever for the poll. Yeah. Good, sleepy, stoned, nice. I've got my my beverage, my coffee. That's how we're gonna make it. I refuse to drink coffee because that would give me a legit reason to fully wake up. Fair enough. Henson said the resurgence of the pandemic, with news of hospitals pushed to capacity with new cases of COVID, is a large factor in the satisfaction shown in the poll. But he said there's a lot more to play, a lot more at play, including partisan politics and failure of government and other institutions. Hey, Alio, hey, Zachap. What is so difficult about the truth? I don't know. I've been wondering myself. I've been wondering that myself. Decaf? Oh no. Decaf? No, no, no. Decaf? No. It's been a tough year. Oop, hey. It's been a tough year in Texas. The power outages, the infrastructure failures. We could go on. I think it's an amalgam of a lot of things that we've reached the watershed on. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because, I mean, imagine, like, these are things that you just can't ignore, right? A lot of people died because of gross incompetence in that winter storm. The same thing is happening with COVID. All of this is because government refused to step in and do what they needed to do. Alio with the 10 biddies, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Bub Dragon. Gotta help each other out. The polls show Governor Greg Abbott's approval rating dropping. His job performance received 41% approval, with 50% saying they disapprove of the job he's doing. Yeah, I bet. Governance is tough and he's the face of governance in the state right now. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, governance is always tough, but when there are real, palpable policies that you can do to try to alleviate the situation and you choose the exact opposite, people eventually are going to notice. Streaming is for capitalists. True. Texas politics is insane. I lived in Austin for 2 years and the people there are not at all representative of the rural counties. Oof. Because of minority rule. True. One polarizing issue highlighted by the poll is the divide over mask mandates. The poll shows 41% of Texans back Governor Abbott's ban on mask requirements, while 45% oppose his ban. Jesus Christ. I think the message is that, you know, there are very established views among partisans. Yeah, but this particular stuff it shouldn't be political. Holy yikes, Batman. It shouldn't be political. It really shouldn't. Yours is the only voice covering news that doesn't grate my ears or worsen my migraines. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Celticaboo. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. I really don't like the fact that we are divided. We are divided about whether or not we should have requirements for masks, whether or not we should have or whether or not the vaccines work. This isn't a matter of this isn't a matter of like politics. It shouldn't be. You know, in cold political terms, no decision is likely to be well received by everybody unless you find a way to step out of the binary politics that have set in. The leadership in the state has clearly not done that. After keeping her kids at home during most of the pandemic, an Austin area mom said it was time to get back around friends and learn in a learning setting. The family made the shift and enrolled their 2 kids in under 5 back in childcare. At first, when the COVID numbers were getting better, we were at more comfortable risk level. We were comfortable with that decision. What was difficult, though, was when we started to see the roadmap of COVID cases rising and there was no change on behalf of the childcare centers in terms of their protocols. The mom wanted to protect her family's privacy and didn't want to share her name, but she was concerned that the latest protocols at some childcare centers, including where her kids were going. When I would walk in, there was, in the school, there weren't, parents weren't wearing masks. There wasn't any temperature checks. You're walking in a hallway where multiple families were gathered. Jesus. There wasn't a uniform, coherent policy portrayal of what COVID protocols should look like. True. I mean, again, if you want to open up and you want to have some semblance, of normalcy, there's got to be some type of... I'm sorry, but there's got to be some type of guardrails, right? Something to make sure that we can reduce and limit the spread of this thing. Whether it be, the best thing that we could probably put in place if we want to open up things like daycare centers or whatnot is anyone who is a daycare child care worker, elderly care worker, teacher, healthcare worker, workers that have that work in the travel industry should be vaccinated. Those that cannot be vaccinated, which is the 12 and under, should be wearing masks. I mean, but the GOP and MAGA did make it mega political. True. They politicized the shit out of absolutely everything and then blamed the left for politicizing. Yep. Somebody, and I always get the names confused. I don't know if it was Memmius or Memo for the Record, but you can break down the GOP by gaslight, obstruct, and project. That is the acronym: gaslight, obstruct, and project. Hey, Thinking Saber Cat, send it to me. She found the same to be true for many childcare centers she researched in the Cedar Park area, so she explained she pulled her kids out until she found something her family was comfortable with during the pandemic. I ended up putting a 1-year one in at home daycare, almost in a more pod situation, and the other one, in like a proper preschool. So it's been really difficult. Yeah, so this is going off into a tangent, but the point is, people are starting to notice. People are starting to notice the gross levels of incompetence and just how much it's costing people. Whether it be lives, or being severely ill, or forced to or being forced to quarantine. All right, hold on, folks. It's starting to show, and you know what? I think Greg Abbott should be voted out. I think Greg Abbott should be voted out. It's just a matter of Texans wanting to get out there and do it, because the majority definitely oppose his the direction he's taking in Texas. But the MAGA supporters are dying? Yeah, well, I would comfortably say the majority of the deaths that have to do with COVID are unvaccinated folks, and the majority of those unvaccinated folks are most likely, on the right. It will be funny if this is the thing that makes Texas go blue. That would be interesting, because that would change things. Thinking Sabercat, that would change things dramatically. We need an overhaul of government officials in multiple states and in the Senate. All right, that requires us getting out and voting. Well, in terms of the electoral sense of the thing, of the aspect. At least in the electoral sense, right? In Arkansas, it's horrifying. Oof. Hey, Thundera. Hey, Dakapolion. Hello and good morning. Morning. Hope you grabbed your favorite beverage. Coffee, tea, water. As effed up as it is to say there's not enough dying to really make a difference. No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying that, like, the overwhelming majority of folks that are passing away from COVID are unvaccinated. I mean, like, overwhelmingly vaccinated. I would say 90% plus is what I understood. And an overwhelming of those are on the right. I was given some mushroom latte powder a week ago, and I've been adding it to every coffee I make. Interesting. The only thing I add to my coffee is vanilla soy milk. That's it. Some vanilla soy milk, and we're good to go. Excuse me. Ooh. In an interesting turn of events, Donald Trump says he's not sure whether he supports the Texas abortion law. Former President Trump wouldn't say if he supports the Supreme Court's refusal to block a Texas law that bans abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy, but he did call the ruling complex and also probably temporary. Interesting, because he was very, very, super, anti-abortion, just not, just not that long ago when he was president. Just not that long ago. I mean, he put these conservative justices for that purpose. Howdy, howdy. I take my coffee the same way as my whiskey. Nice. Can everybody go to twitch.tv/Canibria, please? Experience the biggest and best Saints Row play. Oh, I'm reading Nightbot messages. Get out of here, Nightbot. If you're able to health-wise get a vaccine, there's no reason not to other than you want to play Russian roulette. True. 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 Here, in fact,
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine.
Trump dodged when asked by investigative journalist Cheryl Atkinson whether he agrees with the ruling. I will tell you this, we do have a Supreme Court that's a lot different than it was before. It was acting very strangely, and I think not in the interest of our country. Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm studying it right now. I know the ruling was very complex and also probably temporary. Many GOP radio hosts are dying and Fox News is ridiculously unbright. Well, Fox News by itself, not so much. Fox News has a vaccine, pseudo requirement from what I understand. It's just certain hosts. However, it is true that a lot of GOP radio hosts are dying of COVID, and it's like really sad. It's really sad. I had news today, another 5 RMT colleagues died of COVID. Yikes. Hey, Taco Belmont. My sister is a respiratory therapist in Florida, and all the people she had to take off the vent this weekend were unvaccinated. Dang. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. That's so sad.
Okay, so I want to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. So I'm curious, how many people watching this video right now remember Carrie Prejean? Anything? Name ring a bell? So I didn't remember this name as well until I saw this clip. I think this is going to help jog your memory.
Vermont recently became the 4th state to legalize same-sex marriage. Do you think every state should follow suit? Why or why not?
A marriage should be between a man and a woman. No offense to anybody out there, but that's how I was raised, and that's how I think that it should be between a man and a woman.
Wait. 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 So listen, I was raised, to believe that the Earth is flat, and that's just the way I was raised, and the Earth is flat, and that's just all there is to it. I mean, yeah, that's literally all the evidence I need. Is that's just the way I was raised. This is pretty hey, I'm in Lotus. This is pretty unrelated, but I'm just asking in leftist spaces because, you know, good faith and general world knowledge is found here. What happened with the conflict in Armenia and Artsakh not last year? Did they find a ceasefire? Oof. Here is the problem. I am super uneducated about that. I have no idea what that even means. I know that there was a conflict. Shoot. I know that there was a conflict in Azerbaijan. I believe. I think there was a conflict in Azerbaijan, but honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea. That's right, Thandara. Oh, so it is Azerbaijan. It's a part of Azerbaijan as a breakaway state. Okay. Shoot, I mean, to be completely honest, I don't know. I really don't. I know that there was a conflict that got really heated. And I don't know if they ended up brokering a ceasefire. Actually, Mono was pretty on top of that conflict. If you want to ask them, but honestly, I'm not informed enough to make an opinion, other than I know I heard something about that at some point last year. So sorry, I just don't know. .99%, 99.7% Armenian. Gotcha. It is sad, but it's also infuriating. They put her at risk when they come into the hospital and fight that the virus isn't real and cough in her face. Holy yikes, Batman. That's so messed up. I have a sister who's a nurse, so I completely get you. I've said it so many times, if you don't believe the doctors and scientists now and have no health issues preventing you from getting the vaccine, then you should sign a DNR so that the hospitals can help patients who haven't done their part. I mean, I'll say this, it is frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating. I will say that.
Thank you very much.
So you remember now, right? So after she gave that answer, it went viral. She kind of had her 15 minutes of fame. She went on CNN. She was interviewed by Fox News. She appeared on Larry King Live. So I'm talking about her now in 2021 because I want to give you an update as to where she's at right now and what she's doing. Well, to no one's surprise, she morphed into a Karen. What kind of a Karen, you might be wondering? Well, she is now an anti-mask Karen who showed up to her children's school to threaten them for imposing mask mandates ahead of the new school year. Take a look.
My name is Carrie Bowler. You see my shirt, it says Mama, and I'm a mama bear, and I know there's a lot of mama bears here tonight, and no one's gonna mess with our cubs. That's right. Just so you know. I'm a resident of Encinitas, born and raised San Diegan, and tonight I'm simply here to tell you to unmask our children. We're done begging. In fact, we're done asking for permission.
That's right.
We are going to be unmasking our children today.
That's right.
The pandemic is over. The parents are done.
Sorry, mic muted. Wait, pandemic is over, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. We did it. The pandemic is over. We just snapped our fingers and it's done. Just like that. Amazing. Alright, hold on, folks. Let me bring in the co-host. Howdy, 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 howdy.
Ring, ring, ring.
Cool. Let me see if we can bring you up on
Fucking
screen.
help me with these goddamn chickens, I tell you. Oh, I forgot about my antenna. Oops. Oh well. Why are you guys always so hungry? Why do you seem to grow overnight, every night?
Clap hands, that's right. Hold on, let me bring you up because, window capture.
Y'all just gonna starve if you're just gonna attack me when I open this thing.
Are those chickens? Yes, they're chickens. I'm trying to bring, bring them on screen. Hold on, folks.
They're monsters. They are.
Hang on, everybody. Hang on. I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it.
Watch this. They're little demons, I tell you. The forecast said it wasn't gonna rain, so my Jeep is naked. It freaking poured all night and still looks rainy out now.
Nice.
Look at them. Can you see them?
That's so cute.
No, it's not.
Monster chickens. Mission
They're not
accomplished. Yeah, that's right. Viruses don't just go away.
Nope.
True. It's crazy how I knew the sound of chickens over the birds. Yep, those are chickens.
They literally just won't let me pour the food in there. They run under the food, so now they're all covered in food.
Peep, peep, peep.
Later, they'll be pecking at each other. I don't even think I can get to their water container without them killing me. I'm gonna put a glove on because I don't want to go upstairs and wash my hands.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
So this is where I can put my phone now, and I can take some video inside the Jeep on the trail. And I actually have another RAM mount here that I can attach a camera to, so we'll try and do that at some point. Alright guys, they're gonna try and kill me. You don't understand. Oh no.
I want to see, I want to see, like, I want to go up there and visit them, actually, for real, for real.
So get up here. You've been telling me to get up here.
I'm
You
trying.
should have been here for Jeep Fest. It was insane. We almost didn't make it, fam. Oh no. I didn't get it close to the door at all.
Yeah,
See, the
well,
thing
I still haven't been able to get a day off, by the way.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
You could have just come up for the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it all the time. It's not that bad. Alright, I'm gonna put new bedding in there because it's like straight up chicken poop in there.
This is fascinating. Yeah, the little chickens are fascinating. I love the chickens. Every time I get to see them, they're so cute. Even though they try to peck your hand off, but that's okay.
Oh my god, they're so mean. like these ones, all they can do is eat. So they're getting almost food aggressive, I would say. I don't know how to set my phone up so everybody can just see. Hold on.
Put it sideways. Whatever you do, put it sideways. Yeah, something like that.
Well, I just need to put it down for a minute so I can open up the cage and start putting bedding in it while they're distracted. So I have a feeling they're all gonna fly out of here.
Oh, I just saw one hop up. I mean, we can see kind of, but we can see like their little heads popping up.
Yeah, I should close the garage door. I can open it back up after. I think I will.
Yeah, just lower the camera just a little bit lower, unless you can't because of the stand. Oh yeah, now we can't see anything. Now it's just I assume that's bedding.
Yep.
Yeah, now we just see like part of you and the package of bedding.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this without them getting out. When I used to do this when they were little, they couldn't jump out.
Oh yeah, now I can like if you notice, chat. If you notice, even well, now the bedding is in the way, but if you notice, like you can see them actually hop. Chirp, 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 chirp.
Oh shit, we lost one. Loretta.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Loretta.
We have an escaped chicken.
Say hi,
Aww.
Loretta.
Aww, that's so cute. That's adorable.
How the hell do I get her back in there now?
That's so cute.
Loretta. Oh shit. Why are you guys like this? I just want to give you some fucking bedding. So that you're not walking around in your own shit.
Yeah, just yeet right just yeet them right back in there.
I'm tempted to drag your asses outside and put you with the big chickens and we'll just have to see what happens.
Alright, well we'll finish this video while we watch the chickens get new bedding.
We're done asking you,
like I
public
can barely
servants,
put one
for
head forward at a
permission.
time.
We are done. You can all wear your masks. In fact, you can wear 2 masks and 3 masks. You can wear gloves. You can have plexiglass. You can do whatever you need to do to keep you safe. But we, the parents, believe we have a choice for our children. And I don't know who you think you are, that you think that you have more of a say than us, the parents, and our doctors. I don't know who any of you think you are. I really don't. It ends today.
It ends
We
today.
are declaring our freedom tonight. We do not consent to the lies, fear-mongering, and abuse. You all know it's abuse. This is tyrannical leadership, poor leadership. None of you are willing to stand up for our children. This is why we are all here tonight, because we're fed up. We're done asking permission. We're done playing games. The pandemic is over. We are done, Andre. We're done.
We are done. This pandemic has been declared over.
Sounds pretty funny.
Are you working on a chicken coop? Oh, there's a chicken coop. Just these particular chickens are not big enough yet. There's a chicken coop outside on the other part outside.
Yeah, we gotta go let them out. I should probably do that before I finish screwing around with these guys.
I mean, they do need new bedding.
Yeah, but I can do that after I let the other chickens out.
I really hope all their children stay safe from the virus. Same.
No one saw that.
Saw what?
I totally just yeeted my phone. I like how I made tea and then I left it upstairs.
Yeah, it happens.
Why am I like this? Alright, well, I started to put new bedding in there.
Nice.
I will continue this shit when I get back, you little pains in my ass. You gotta go let the big chickens out.
Alright, while you do that, we'll finish this video.
See the chairs that you're sitting in? We own those chairs. See these lights? We pay for the lights.
We own this.
It's gonna rain all day.
And I want to let you know, Emily, you're up in 2022. Greg, you're up in 2022. Marla, you're up in 2022. And Jody, you're up in 2024. I know that myself.
all
I
the
would
way
love to
on.
run for school. I know many others.
The good news is since it's been raining all
So
night,
I'm going to promise you tonight that I
it's
will
now
campaign against you.
nice and
I will
slippery down
fundraise
here.
against you, and I will make sure that none of you ever
You
serve
guys
in
might
public
get to see me slip and fall in the chicken shit.
Well, just be careful. Just be careful.
And there, I'm coming.
Oh, I think we might be too far out.
My egg.
Uh-oh. Oh, there we are. There we are. Yeah, Buff Dragon, it's just somebody who wants another 15 minutes of fame. Sorry. What I can see of it is a beautiful plot of land. It is. I've been there 3 times, 4 times. 4 times? No, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And it is indeed very beautiful. I thought it's very, very chill.
Keep trying to get you to come live up here.
15, yeah, that's right, Bub Dragon. I should have just went with it. 15 minutes of shame.
Alright.
Oh, hello. Say hello, everybody.
No eggies.
No eggies?
Alright. You know, I'm probably gonna lay later. Okay, Medea, calm down. Hey. Stay inside. You see that?
Yeah.
Reba?
Chicken chaos, true. True.
Alright, goodbye. I have to go take care of the little ones. See, I would put them in here, but I'm afraid the other ones will be mean to them.
Yeah.
Especially the rooster. He's kind of mean, and he's huge.
True.
So, alright,
Good
guys.
morning or afternoon for me. Morning or afternoon.
Back up the hill we go. I almost walked in a spider web.
Utter madness. True, but it's cute madness, alright? I don't know. I like seeing all the little chickens. Or, I guess I should say big chickens. We're allowed to have chickens here, we just can't have roosters. Same, as we found out. I've told this story before. We used to have 3, no, was it 2? I'm pretty sure it was 3 roosters. No, it was 2 roosters. We had 2 roosters, and unfortunately, our neighbors ratted our parents out to the city. So we had to we had to surrender the roosters to like a farm or something. Because you're only allowed to have hens. You're only allowed to have hens.
Okay. Take off my chicken shit shoes. Walk my way back over to my sandals. Sorry, I'm kind of dressed like a bum today, guys. I'm gonna be working on the Jeep and on the house. No point in looking pretty. But yeah, this is where our dogs get to hang out. And we go on Jeep rides. They're so spoiled. They get this whole area to themselves. Anywho, back to these damn chickens.
That's actually a good shot right there. So I'm gonna play this video while you do that.
Quote, the pandemic is over.
Okay, calm down.
Status headphones cancel the...
For you girls, I should say. I hope none of you are guys.
Is that how it works? Okay, let me try it. I'm rich. Don't see money falling from the sky. That's not the way that things work. Facts don't care about your feelings. The pandemic in many regions of the country is worse than it's ever been. You don't get to just say it's over and then make that be fact. The pandemic is going on. And the reason why school boards are mandating masks is to protect your children. But you're too stupid to realize that. I see that nothing has changed, Gary. She also claims that mask mandates are tyrannical, and she claims that they're abuse. So if you make children wear masks, that's a form of child abuse. Okay, we'll wait until she finds out about something that's incredibly scandalous, Halloween. I'm sure that she definitely doesn't celebrate Halloween or let her kids wear masks because, according to her, masks are child abuse. Are your kids that stupid, Gary, to where if you make them put on a mask during a global pandemic, they would be so confused, like would their little heads explode? I don't see the problem here. Do you want other kids to expose your children to germs? I don't understand why you're being so petulant here. It's a fucking pandemic that is not over, and putting on masks is good for your children. They are not abuse. If you talk to your children, I'm sure that they'd understand, and you don't have to make it this dreadful thing. Make it fun. Like if I were a kid going to school and I could wear a Ninja Turtles mask or a Power Rangers mask or a Pokemon mask, I would love that. It doesn't have to be this negative thing. It's only negative because of you, because you're petulant, because you're a conservative, and you're an heir.
Okay. I used to go once a week to a friend's place, and they give him to give him and his wife massages. They had chickens, and one of the roosters would come up and stab his beak into my toes as soon as I sat down. Yikes. Well, to be fair, like roosters are definitely or can be super aggro. But as Daka Polyon, I think it's more about the noise in terms of like how the city rules go. Well, I don't know. At least here, and my whole dynamic was super chill, and this chicken was super sus. But yeah, it can happen. Bub Dragon, where a rooster can be a little bit more aggro. I mean, I had the roosters that we had used to chase my cousin. Used to chase my cousin around the yard. To try to peck her. So I can totally see that, Bub Dragon. The roosters that we had. In fact, I'm pretty sure somewhere in maybe my dad's old phone files, there's a video of the rooster chasing my cousin.
Head. But I don't want to single out Carrie too much because she's not alone. Parents across the country have been showing up to school board meetings, and they have been ripping them because of these mask mandates. In fact, in one county, a fight actually broke out over mask mandates, and this local news reporting on it was just... Just pay attention to the reporter's face, like the look on his face. You can tell how shocked he is at what he saw unfolding before his very eyes.
County students must wear a face mask to school. That's the brand new order being issued by the superintendent. It comes just before a meeting was supposed to allow parents to have their say. But as NBC2's Dave Elias joins us live, and he reveals, Dave, that decision has already been made.
It has already been made, and let me tell you, what I'm seeing here is just unbelievable. Both sides are arguing over a decision that was just made by the superintendent to invoke a mandatory mask policy for 30 days. I'm told that it does take effect on September 1st. Now, you have both sides here arguing over
sides.
whether or not a mask should be worn in the schools. I can tell you that I just saw 2 doctors try to walk into this building, and they were shoved off of the sidewalk back into the street here.
Yikes.
So that's out of control. That's how out of control things are getting. And just looking around, we've got some sheriff's deputies here, but right now I see no authorities here. We're told.
Jesus Christ. My nephews love their mask. When we got them, we let them pick out we let them pick them out, and one of my nephews even got masks to match their various outfits. Listen, I have a Vaporeon, a Pokemon Vaporeon mask that is dope. Alright? I'd love it.
That all of them are inside as tempers erupt here outside of the Lee County School District headquarters. And again, all of this may be for naught, as the superintendent already made the decision to impose that mask mandate. We, of course, will continue following all of these latest developments, and we, of course, will keep you posted. We're live in Lee County. Dave Elias, NBC2. When you walked in, I saw you get shoved, both of you. Can you confirm that happened in your reaction?
So actually, Dr. Wallace got shoved. She was actually... I was just trying to make my way to the door so I could come in and fill a comment card, and a woman stood in front of me and bumped me out of the way. I was trying to get Cindy Banier's attention and tell her hello and thank you for coming.
Oh, Lee
The
County?
woman pushed her body into me, so...
Are you shocked at what this has become?
Not at all. Been watching it on social media for weeks and months and months. I'm not...
Okay, right here. Look, right here. So as you can see, fists are now
Oh my
flying.
God.
All of this on live television. Fists are flying.
Oh, wait. Shoot. Dang it. I think... Oh, no. I think I may have to nuke this VOD because I forgot that, like, DMCA goes for, like, news clips as well. I know. So I guess I'll check it out later, but I just realized...
Unbelievable what we are seeing here today unfold live. Now we can see the sheriff's deputies are coming out here to get between the two groups. A lot of confusion, a lot of anger, as a lot of deputies now are finally pouring in.
I made a tweet a while ago saying, like, have we all just lost our collective shit? Because, like, what I'm seeing here is just, it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And it's like, you have to approach this. You have to approach this in a manner that will get productive results done. Because, like, at this point in time, it's like...
They got betting now.
They got betting now? Aw. Smack them hard? No, but that's not gonna get the result. Unfortunately, like, I paused the video, right after, like, Mike was saying, like, oh yeah, you know, these are just conservative. Like, yeah, I know. Okay, and I get the frustration, but we need to make sure that what we do and our approach tries to shift some of these people, because, like, this isn't just about them, and this isn't just about us, because unfortunately, what their actions do, or I should say their inactions do, affect us, and we have to figure it out. I don't understand either. I don't know what productive results could possibly be attained. Yeah, it's just so frustrating because, like, I see the stress that people are going through. I see the stress that healthcare workers are going through. I see, you know, the nurses who are picking up extra shifts because there's just not enough of them. Some of them are even walking out. Local hospitals are being filled by travel nurses because there just isn't enough. ICUs are filled. And I get it. I get it, but can we just build a wall around Florida and just contain them? Whoa, I'm here, alright? Just get me out of here first.
To see exactly what happened. And again, I was live and I saw somebody push one of the people that was that was supporting the mask mandate. And again, now we have deputies here trying to get this under control. So, Nate, to answer your question, yes, tempers are flying here today. And again, the only word I can use to describe this in my 32 years of broadcast covering is I am shocked at what is taking place here.
I am shocked.
I love how all throughout the report, the lady in the Jesus shirt was like seen fighting and assaulting everyone. Like, it's too perfect. And what really was just like what speaks to the sadness of the state of affairs is he asked the doctor who was assaulted by these anti-mask parents, are you shocked at what this has become? Her answer, not at all. She's not shocked. Doctors aren't shocked. Nurses aren't shocked. To see the meltdown by adults, to see these temper tantrums.
Yeah, like, and he just brought up a good point. Like, I really think that maybe the ad homs were not the way to go. But he did bring up a good point here where he's like, these are grown adults, okay? These are grown adults, unironically, fist fighting in front of a school or something like that. It was that was a school, wasn't it? Unironically, fist fighting.
Don't knock it over, you little assholes.
What did they do?
They were all bum rushing. Drop my phone. They were all bum rushing the water thing as if they weren't going to get any water. They already drank almost half of it. Whoa. I literally just filled that.
Oh, hello. No, because they're intelligent and they've been witnessing grown adults acting insane for quite some time. Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like, he brings up a good point. Like, why? These are grown adults fighting, fist fighting, unironically.
Because people are idiots.
I mean, like, yes, but this is beyond that.
I don't know.
There are a number of extreme factions who have found a way to get money from their extreme outpourings. I mean, some of it is that, Fifth Dimension. Some of it is that because, hey, controversy gets you the clicks, right? Controversy gets you the views. Saying controversial things or shocking things get you the views. So therefore, it encourages that behavior. So there is some truth. There is some element of that where people are just going, taking the positions that they are because it gets you that. It gets you the views because their privileges are super all about how they don't have to conform to the rules of society. Yes. There is a truth to that too, or at least they feel that way. That's for sure.
This is just to be expected in the United States of America. But there's another county that I want to show you where this man showed up to a meeting and he decided to epically own the school board by calling their masks face diapers, and he also threatened implicitly to do violence.
That's my father-in-law right there, speaking on behalf of his grandkids.
Treats, so much
You with that
water.
diaper on your face, if he farted right now, could you smell it? That's how stupid this is. We're all playing games here with people's lives.
Excellent retort.
This is
Aw.
They have been cared for. Little shits.
They definitely look like they have been cared for.
I used to put a lot of bedding in there so that it would be nice and fluffy for them. But what they do is they just kick it all out and make a huge mess. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not.
Now they just get barely enough bedding to cover their shit, and then that's it.
I mean, they're fine.
They're spoiled.
As they should be. As they should be. Morality out the window. Ethics? Fuck that. Altruism?
Do you know how much money I'm gonna have to spend before I ever get an egg out of these motherfuckers? See, the treat bag was like $24. I've already probably spent $30, $40 in feed. I've bought 2 bags of bedding, so that's another almost $20. Fortunately, I had already bought the cage, so I already spent that money.
Nice.
but I'm never doing this in the garage thing again, raising babies. This is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you are building the expansion.
I'm going to build an expansion in addition to the expansion that I'm doing for the big chickens, and it's going to be for raising small ones.
That's awesome.
And then that way they can grow up across the wire, or across the fence, I guess I should say, from the big ones. And I'll put in like a little door that I can pull, and they can just go in there when I think they're big enough.
Sweet. Right now, red states have far higher death rates than blue states. Riddle me that, Batman. I'm an anarchist and I can respect the rebellion, but the rebellion against the wrong target. Yeah, true. All the eggs she can eat. True. Definitely. Yeah. I understand that, everybody should have some type of healthy... I'm not exactly against healthy skepticism about actions taken by the state. I'm not, against that. I think that we should have healthy skepticism about what our government is doing and why it is doing whatever said thing. It's okay to have, healthy skepticism about governmental programs. Like, for example, the Patriot Act. It's okay to question that. Absolutely. But, I mean, this isn't, some massive governmental conspiracy, right? It's really not. It's
it?
Oh, I need a soundbite for that one. This isn't some type of governmental conspiracy, right? All it is just people are asking people to just be responsible adults. And I guess that's too much to ask.
And I'm sick of it. I represent all these hardworking guys that couldn't be here today.
The water that I put in
take off work to put up with this BS that you guys are putting down. And there's hell coming.
It's almost
There's hell coming, and I'm not doing it to threaten anybody. But there's a lot of good guys out there.
Oh my God.
Dixie.
Hmm?
I said, yeah, I'm talking about you. Don't look at me like that, Dixie.
Well said, you seem to be what I call middle of the road. Yeah, sure. I'm the enlightened centrist. I'm an enlightened centrist. No, I don't know, if that can be called, middle of the road. It's more I'm not in the middle of I'm not in the middle of the road. I'm pretty much in the camp of, where is the plurality of data going? And can this be trusted because of X, Y, or Z? That's not middle of the road. I picked a side, pretty much.
I don't know.
I don't know. These other folks seem to have compelling arguments. Okay. The only conspiracy about worshiping Trump. It's about worshiping Trump, false elections, and no mask. Yeah, these are conspiracies. I had a customer that compared the vaccine to the Tuskegee experiment. Holy eggs, Batman. No. That's actually a very horrible comparison. Why would you do that? Why would anybody... Why?
They're ready to do bad things soon. Watch what's coming. These mandates are against the Nuremberg
What's
Codes.
the matter, Ron? Did you just
The first one states voluntary informed consent. Are you a Nazi?
My dad named
What is it?
chickens.
They sent my dad off to Vietnam and fight for the country, but you're going to tell him to wear a mask?
KFC.
Sir,
I appreciate the fact that I can't control myself. There's a lot of other guys that control that can't control themselves.
Talk to me.
That's why they're not here right now. I have nothing else to say. Do what's right. There's a lot of bad things coming.
I mean, this is...
At least it wasn't a Holocaust comparison. Oh. Rip. And there it is. Yeah, so basically his argument is if I yell loud enough and if I yell loud enough, then my point stands. Yeah, the guy in the video is all cringy, yelling and cringy. True. Like, a grown-ass man is out there unironically, like, implicitly, first of all, implicitly threatening and just yelling. Like, angry for no reason. Like, I think that what I'm having trouble computing, in my head is, like, the irrationality of where we've come. And it's deeply worrying to me.
Y'all have to make such a mess. Oh my god.
That's just par for the course. That's just par for the course, Bree.
I just put all that in there.
That's just par for the course.
You come par for the course, fix it.
If I was there, I would help. Wouldn't that be the point?
God. Have chickens, they say. It'll be fun, they say.
Well,
they probably won't all survive, they say. So buy a whole bunch of them, they say.
well, hold on. Fun.
It'll be great, they say.
Hold on. Fun. It can be fun, but also incredibly hard and difficult.
Like, oh, they don't all survive. Here's all fucking 10 of them. Still thriving, bitches.
Well, that's good.
Ah! I like how they all stop and look at me when I yell.
Thank goodness you don't shout and stay calm then measured. I mean, like, I'm really trying to. I'm honestly really trying to. And I'm trying to rethink the way I handle situations. To try to, like, I don't know, first of all, make sense of where this is coming from, and two, attempt to combat it in an effective way. Because this is out of control. I'm not gonna lie, this is out of control. He was angry for the wrong...
How old are these things now? I forget.
What, the chickens?
Yeah.
Geez, I don't remember when you first
like
got them.
Month and a half or 2 months? I can't remember now.
If I were to say, I would probably pick a month and a half over 2 months because it hasn't been that long, right?
I'm gonna scroll back in my camera.
Yes, he was angry for the wrong reasons, and definitely no Nazis around. Well, in that meeting, COVID-19 is a respiratory nasal passages. Yeah, of course. But these folks aren't interested in that, Alio. They're not interested in listening to logic.
The stupidity that we are seeing again and again and again. And by the time this video is uploaded to YouTube, there'll be 5 more videos of anti-mask parents showing up to school board meetings and screaming at people. This is the America that we live in now. The dumbest timeline imaginable. And he says these mandates are against the Nuremberg codes. No,
So
mask
that was
mandates and
July
vaccine mandates are
24th.
not against the Nuremberg codes. This is like a new thing that they're all saying. Like, remember at first, a couple of months ago, they were saying you can't actually ask for my vaccination status because that violates my HIPAA rights. So they find these buzzwords that they don't understand, and then they cite it as like a get out of jail free card. No, mask mandates and vaccine mandates, they do not violate the Nuremberg codes. The Nuremberg codes refer to experimental medicine requiring consent from people. You can't conduct medical experiments on people unless they consent. The vaccines are not experimental. When they were in their clinical trial phase, all of the participants gave their consent to be participants. They're no longer experimental. Masks are not experimental at all. They have been proven to be effective. So what you're saying is dog shit.
Yeah,
You're
it's on
trying to
stream right
find
now.
some way to reason against these mask mandates, but you're just unreasonable. But he's not the only individual to threaten.
6 weeks since then, so they're probably about 2 months old now.
Oh wow, so it's closer to 2 months. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wonder if angry people get an adrenaline rush that makes them feel momentarily good. Yeah, I bet it does, because they think that they are doing good. Well, I would say some of these people unironically think that they are fighting for the truth. Some of these people
I think it goes.
are they unironically think that. And it's like, man, no. No, you're, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Anyways, here's a picture of chickens. Baby chickens.
Baby chickens.
Look at these cutie little floof balls and what they've turned into. So as you can see on the screen, the blown up picture is the baby chicks, who are the same chickens on the top right. All grown up. Well, more or less.
They're not all grown up. They're only... What are you guys doing? Kissing?
Alright, we've got like 8 more minutes ish, more on this. Oof. I wonder if, and yes, I honestly think, like, unironically, that's probably true, Fifth Dimension, because, like, these people unironically think that they're doing good. They think that they're fighting for the right thing.
Violence, because another person who's actually running for public office in the state of Pennsylvania, as a Republican, of course, claimed that, you know, all we have to do is forcibly remove these school board members. Just do violence, just remove them, and then that's how we get rid of the mask mandates. Take a look.
We got parents looking at the bylaws. I plan on going in these school boards. Ian and other strong men. Men, where are you? Men, wake up, smell the coffee, let's go. Make men great again, right? Make men men again. Let's go. Men. I need you.
Men.
I need you in the coming weeks, because when we walk into those school boards, we're going to have everything we need to do to go in there with those 9 school boards that voted to put these masks back on the children with no scientific. It's done giving them the research and the data. You understand that? Forget going into these school boards and bringing data. You go into school boards to remove them. That's what you do. They don't follow the law. They don't follow the law. You go in and you remove them. I'm going in with 20 strong men. I'm going to speak in front of the school board, and I'm going to give them an option. They can leave or they can be removed. And then after that, we're going to replace them with nine parents, and we're going to vote down the mask mandates that evening. That evening. This is how you get stuff done. Forget fighting your legislators. Forget it. They're not listening. You got to do something. It's us. It's we the people.
I will get a posse of men, and I will forcibly remove these school board members. Holy yikes, Batman. Random question you may or may not know the answer to. Can I make instant coffee with cold water? Good question. I actually don't know, but you know what? We've got a almighty Google machine. Well, not Google machine, Ecosia machine. Can you make instant coffee cold?
On her like that. Leave her alone. Oh. There you go, girl.
Instant coffee is a great way to begin your day if you don't have a lot of time on your hands. Sometimes you might want to try something new with your instant coffee, like trying it cold. That begs the question, can you make instant coffee with cold water? Yes, you can. Making instant coffee with cold water is not difficult. The dissolving process might take some more time, but the water would dissolve the instant coffee eventually. The instant coffee isn't that different from regular coffee apart from freshness and taste profile. So making cold instant coffee shouldn't be a problem. There you go, Dacapolion. Alright, let's go back to this very normal, very hinged individual threatening to remove forcibly school members.
You guys want to see a chicken who's sleepy?
Sleepy chicken? Aww. Have they turned in Colonel Sanders meal options?
Coming up
No.
and stepping on her.
Aww.
She's asleep. There she goes.
Alright, folks. Be very quiet. Chicken is trying to sleep.
And see, the other ones keep coming up and stepping on her.
So anyways, the appropriate response is to play this very, very loud and yelling man. Gotcha. 7 more minutes of this, folks. We're gonna get through it.
And my beautiful children know everything that they're going to do. You're going to have to take my life. There's no way. I'll die on this hill. There's no way. No way.
I will die. I will
He
die
seems like
on
a
this
very
hill.
reasonable, well-adjusted, responsible adult.
Yeah, very hinged, very normal.
what happened?
Totally, absolutely, a very, 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 very normal and hinged response from a grown adult.
These people are making me lose whatever hope I had left in humanity. It's that easy. You just institute democracy by forcibly removing those people violently and imposing your will on everyone else by having people who agree with you vote after you forcibly removed the other people. I mean, it's just, It's ridiculous. And he claims, ironically so, that he's done giving them research and the data because they're just not listening to reason. Except you're the one not listening to reason. The research and the data is on our side. It's on the side of the people who support mask mandates, not on your side. What do you have? Some InfoWars article? Some Facebook meme? You have nothing. And that's why you're getting frustrated, because you have no fucking argument. You're growing more petulant, and parents like you are having to resort to temper tantrums because you know this is about feelings. It's not about facts. It's about you wanting to pretend as if the pandemic is over when it's not, when these mask mandates are literally instituted to protect your children and protect you. Stop them from bringing home a virus from one of their friends and spreading it to you.
The benefits of farming mealworms and eating them?
So they,
yeah, there is. I think that you can, from what I understand.
Grandparents, but they don't care. And like the videos that I've shown you, I just want to stress that this is just a small fraction of what's been happening. Because across the country, this has been a non-stop phenomenon. How prevalent these incidents are cannot be overstated. As Tess Owens of Vice News reports, from coast to coast, grown American adults have been exhibiting bizarre behavior at school board meetings, including throwing full-blown tantrums, threatening violence, and even getting arrested. These often absurd displays are coupled with the unrelenting tragedy of the COVID-19 pandemic, which is running rampant in states with low vaccination rates, posing a grave threat to the country's ability to get the virus under control before even deadlier variants show up. Earlier this week, a dad walked his 10th grade daughter to Fort Lauderdale High School, where she was turned away 4 consecutive days for failing to comply with the mask policy. As he was filming the interaction on his phone, a masked high schooler said, "I've had enough for 4 days," according to NBC, and tried to grab his phone. He then grabbed the girl's arm, twisted it behind her back, and pushed her against a gate. School resource officers and a security guard pulled him off her. He's since been charged with child abuse. Broward County was also the site of a chaotic and unruly school board meeting this week, as the polarizing issue of mask mandates has transformed the usually dull setting of school board meetings into a magnet for conspiracy theorists and culture warriors. Parents flocked to the meeting to protest the school district's proposed COVID-19 testing protocols. There, they spouted disinformation about a chemical used to sterilize most medical devices, including nasal swabs. At a school board meeting in Palm Beach, Florida, this week, a man repeatedly refused to sit down in a special room reserved for unmasked individuals and was ultimately arrested. At a school board meeting in San Antonio, where local officials have also adopted a mask mandate in defiance of state law, 2 police officers had to physically carry an unmasked woman out of the room while she was still seated. A school board meeting in Douglas County, Colorado, also went completely off the rails amid debate over their recent adoption of a mask mandate for school kids. Parents accused the board members of being the mask Gestapo, reported Denver's KUSA Kyle Clark. Other parents said they moved to Douglas County specifically to escape the mask policy in Denver. Another speaker who previously ran for school board claimed there was a sniper on the roof because the board members feared the parent voice. And late last week, Louisiana State School Board meeting in Baton Rouge descended into chaos when it was hijacked by a rabble of nearly 200 angry parents, plus a conservative evangelical preacher who were there to protest the statewide mask mandates for schools. This is happening everywhere, all across the country. And if you want to see the insanity firsthand, all you have to do is show up to one of these school board meetings.
I would be almost tempted to just show up to a school, like a city council school board meeting or something, just to like check it out. But no, I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna expose myself like that. No, Austin has no available ICU beds today again. Jesus, Larry vaccinated. That doesn't sound good.
Y'all suck.
True. I'm glad that even though my community at large is I'm glad that even though my community at large, while anti-mask, decided that masks might not be a bad idea in the schools. I mean, like, again, if you want to open up schools and you want to return to a modicum of normalcy, as close to that, then you're gonna need some type of safety guardrails in place. Often these holding some classes in a picnic table outside to lessen the risk. Yikes.
What are we doing? You have parents blasting school board members for doing something that protects their children. But what are they doing in return? They claim that they're harming children. No, contrary to your deluded beliefs, they're doing this to protect your children and to protect other children. But yet you view this as tyranny and an abuse of freedom because you're stupid and you're a petulant child. So these tantrums are probably going to die down as school gets back in session. But, this behavior from parents has led to many school board members across the country resigning because they can't take it. I mean, could you put up with this level of abuse? Like, you do something that's logical to protect children, and then this is the response. You have parents showing up to these meetings, yelling at you, screaming at you, antagonizing you, threatening violence against you. I mean, if I were in the position of any of these school board members, I would tell them to get fucked and walk off. Because and I'd be telling the parents that, to be clear, because this is just abusive. It's disgusting. Like what they're doing, they believe that they're defending freedom, but in actuality, they're the ones who are being tyrannical. They're the ones who are advocating for the spread of a virus during a pandemic. They're the bad guys, but they think they're the good guys.
Yes.
It's just truly morally reprehensible, but totally predictable in 2021 America, where so many people have been deluded by conspiracy theories to the point where they don't even exist in reality anymore. They're living in their own fucking worlds, and I'm sick of it. They can try to pretend as if the pandemic is over. They can try to, fight these mask mandates, but if you want to live in civilized society, we don't have to buy into your delusions. Masks work, masks are effective, and we're doing it to protect all the other children, not just your kid. So shut the fuck up, stop throwing a tantrum, and maybe set a good example for your child.
Yeah, see, like, that's the thing, though. Like, I get his frustration, but these people aren't gonna hear it. They're not. And I understand the anger. I really do. I understand the frustration. But they're not gonna hear it like that. You know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
And what I do mean is, like, there has to be a way, where we can short circuit this, before it gets like any worse than it already is. And I don't think that, like, I know this sounds like counterproductive, but just simply yelling at them isn't going to work.
I agree.
I mean, like, there's got to be a way, like, we can short circuit this, because it is unironically affecting a lot of people, and including people, including us. So I think that, like, man, we've got to figure this out, because it's not good. If it was something that would only affect them, then nobody would care. Why don't they get that? Right. Exactly. The point is exactly that, Dendera. It's not that if it was just something that affected, like, them personally, I mean, you do you. The problem is when it affects other people, right? That's the problem. And their actions or inactions are making it so that others get affected by it, and like, that's the troubling part of it. It's like, it's not computing, and it's frustrating. I'm not selling McDonald's. It is an ad run to support the stream. These people act against their own interests. I am a mask free jab outweighs the cost of them if they end up in the hospital or sick. Yeah, they don't get that, though. They don't understand that. Or have just thrown that out the window completely, which is deeply disturbing. Like, I mean, if you had a way to prevent disease, cheap, free, and effective, why wouldn't you do it? But, we're just not living. We're past that. We're past reality, and it's like, it's so frustrating. I do not choose this ad run. The problem is that you can get some of them to listen and be reasonable in the sing list, but their friends gather. But once their friends gather, it's all ego and arrogance for no reason. And no reason. True, Jammed Tomb. Can everybody go to twitch.tv/jamtomb? They do fantastic art on stream. The TLDR of this, the TLDR is that we've lost our collective shit, and it's really dangerous because, like, we've lost it. We've collectively lost our shit. Jesus Christ. Which is a hard taskmaster. True. There was a study about these conspiracies affecting people's mental health. Not even just the conspiracy nuts who reach far. So far, it's mental gymnastics. It's exhausting. for rational people too. I don't remember where I saw it. Sometimes you just have to. Yeah, but that's the problem, Taco. That's the problem. Instead of getting like the results that you want, you'll end up getting like the exact opposite. When it becomes like, when it becomes to that point, you get the opposite result, and it's like, I don't know. I'm in favor of I'm in favor of having things of having things like, for example, vaccine requirements for schools, for travel, in terms of like airlines and cruise lines and stuff like that. Just because there's a lot of people gathered in that area.
We already basically do have these things anyways.
Right. Yes, that is also true. And these airlines and cruise lines and all this other stuff, they go into international places where these international countries do have vaccine requirements, so it just makes sense. I am in favor of having requirements for healthcare workers, for elderly care workers, for child care workers, and for schools, things like this. So I mean, these are fine, but I'm just afraid of like, why do you drive on the right, stop at the lines, and yeah, exactly. Why do we put on seatbelts and drive on the right hand side, or drive or stop at the stop sign, or things like that? Oh my goodness! Sourcing support with a massive rate of 49. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Howdy, everybody. Thank you, sourcing.
Appreciate you, fam.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. So in case you guys don't know, we are A Difficult Truth. We do news and politics Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the eastern side.
Yeah.
on the eastern side, and join us to Saturdays for Saturday Catterdays. Guaranteed kitty cat every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We rated in. Hey, Eric, I don't wear a seatbelt because it isn't 100% effective. True.
Exactly. I just drive around with no doors, no top, and no seatbelt because just what's the point?
What's the point? It's not 100%, so why should I even bother? Correct. I drive on the left-hand side. Are you crazy? Nobody tells me where to drive. We're like, okay. Hey, add them all together.
Those chicks are crazy, guys.
But they're cute. Some parents have always thrown fits about vaccine requirements in school as long as I can remember. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Thandera. Like, there was always, even from the beginning of time, from the beginning of time, there's always going to be people who are like anti-vax and stuff like that. But never, because of social media and alt media, we've gotten to the point where this is a problem. Can't find a name like, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I had to get vaccines to live in Japan as a military spouse and for school. Fine, that is the requirement, and I'm completely fine with that. For the military too, and school, of course. I'm not agreeing with that, Larry Vaccinated. I don't think that there's like a hard quote. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's. I think we can explain this by, I think we can explain this just by gross incompetence and a lot of misinformation, Larry Vaccinated. Yes, small chickens. Well, not so small chickens anymore. In the UK, we do drive on the left. Yes, decolonized driving, right side only, true. Tate, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. As a disabled elder, I had a personal attendant who cleans and does laundry, cooks, and helps me in the shower. She's not vaccinated. In fact, COVID has had COVID last month. Yikes, Larry, vaccinated. Well, I mean,
Sorry.
at least you're vaccinated. A difficult truth. Flex your climate change knowledge real quick. Climate change is real.
Is real.
And it's human caused. There we go. All right, that's it. That's my climate change knowledge. No, I'm kidding. We are gonna go through these headlines because we have to get through all of this. And towards the end, we are.
The liquor store is open.
It's Labor Day. It might be. Hold on, let me get you to full screen. And then let me put you on the right hand corner. There we go. Just out of frame. Just right above that. Perfect.
And the company that I bought the cool handle mirror thingies from gave me a couple awesome slap koozies.
Nice. Yes, page 75, folks.
Take your can of liquid death.
Nice.
Slap that bitch on there.
I remember a summer of family throwing a fit. Yikes, that they couldn't bring their unvaxxed dog to Chongqing Park.
What?
Are there any studies going around about effectiveness of antibodies developed from having COVID versus vax? Yes, there are studies going around on the efficacy, the difference between natural immunity and immunity with the vaccine. Here's the problem. I don't know what those are because I haven't looked at them, but I know that's definitely something that was studied for sure.
Rip. Come on, Carlos.
We would have more resources for R&D, but the motives are different. Would be different. We could build better products that lasted longer, facing on resources. And there could be more left to research. And art would be an integral part of life, just without the profit motive, which can only be good. I don't see how games wouldn't exist. True.
Oh, my 6-foot power cord is long enough to reach.
Oof. Yes, if climate change is real, then why does snow exist? Checkmate. Dang.
Exactly. Obviously, the Earth's not getting hotter because there's still snow.
Oh, that's from the continuation of a previous stream. Gotcha.
It's not like the icebergs are melting or anything.
Yeah, but there's still ice. How could there be global warming if there is still ice? All right.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Okay, so we're gonna go over these quickly, just as a lightning round, and then we're gonna get to the real stuff, like the chap said. We need to get through this climate change summary. Sorry, the IPCC technical summary. There is actually less snow and glaciers are melting away. True. The CDC still recommends vaccine after 30 days and negative COVID test after getting sick. Yep. My state senator brought a snowball into Congress and actually said that, yeah. Yep, that is a thing that happened. And GOP shouldn't have House majority pushing conspiracy and lies, Kinzinger says. If Republicans are pushing lies and conspiracies, Representative Adam Kinzinger, Republican of Illinois, said Sunday they shouldn't take control of the House. I think that if we're going to be in charge and pushing conspiracy and pushing division and pushing lies, then the Republican Party should not have the majority. Kinzinger, a critic of his own party and former president Trump, was one of 2 Republicans whom House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. What is this tangent? Anyways, I think that the point is, this guy is onto something. I agree that if this is where the GOP is at, they should absolutely not have the majority. However, we talked yesterday about how the more sensible folks would short circuit the more MAGA Q kind of deal from the GOP. And I said, well, I don't know if I don't know if that's gonna happen. I feel like that is the future of the GOP. I feel like people like him, like Representative Kinzinger, are going to get ostracized. Are going to get ostracized from the party. And end up forming, I don't know, being either out of the party or switching sides. COVID really fucked me up, so I'm kind of terrified of being that level sick again. Yikes. I'm sorry to hear that, Quinn Better. Why not just go to Mars? There's no COVID there. True. Well, I mean, that part is true. There is indeed no COVID on Mars that we know of. And there's no global warming. Also true. I mean, these are just facts. Australian News said that the majority of anti-COVID rhetoric is coming from 6 people on social media. It's possible. I haven't seen that, Sir Yogi. It wouldn't surprise me that the overwhelming majority of like how gross levels of misinformation are coming from a small section of individuals. All I can say now is that my party has to embrace truth. We have to have a full reckoning of what happened on January 6th, and we have to turn away from conspiracy. Drew, when he was asked whether he thinks the voters should trust House Republican leaders with the majority in the next election. Last week, House Freedom Caucus Chair Andy Briggs sent a letter urging the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to remove Kinzinger and Cheney from Republican conference, accusing them of taking orders from Democrats. If Andy Biggs has his way, we will be the party where truth tellers and people who want to stand up for the Constitution like Liz Cheney and myself get kicked out of the party because there's no room for truth. So I would encourage the rest of my colleagues in the Republican Party not just passively resist that, but do it in the open and honestly. Yeah, but that doesn't get you the votes, my friend, unfortunately. I think that this is where people have that misconception where they think that somehow the Republicans like Kinzinger will eventually win, will outbid the more Q MAGA people like Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think that's the opposite. I think that people like Lauren Boebert, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, are the future. I got 5G the other day from walking near a wind farm, and now I have... Jesus, Quinn Better. Just park Earth next to Mars and walk over. True. Just that easy. I think we lost Bree. Oh no, wait, there she is. Well, the seat.
Sorry about that, guys. The cat started crying. Oh, why'd my phone get turned sideways? How'd that happen?
What a cool future. True. Yeah,
the
so...
cats were crying, so I went and I looked and they had no food.
Aw.
I'm like, alright, I guess I better feed you little fuzzy fuckers. We ready to test out this camera?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just gonna be going over these headlines and hit us up. The camera angle looks good. The camera angle looks pretty good.
See, and then I can turn it around. Tilt it up like that.
Oh, I see. Is that the front?
Yeah.
Cool. Melancholia is a great movie as to why that will not work. Ah. I have not heard of that movie, actually. Matt McConaughey debating Kamala for 2024 while GOP features Nazis debating the speed at which the state should execute final solution policies. Yikes.
Wow, why is my phone like this?
I don't know if, I don't know if Kamala will be the 2024 nominee. I actually don't know what they're gonna do. I actually don't know what the Democratic Party is going to do for 2024. Thank you for not using expletives. Yeah, I mean we try to, you know, we try to keep it we try to keep it PG-13, you know?
Oh, I'm the worst at that.
I'm worse at that. That's funny.
Alright, Sam, here we go.
Thank you for the follow. Judgment. It doesn't really matter after the GOP runs their gerrymander fest for 2022. Yeah, I don't know. It is going to be a problem, I think, but, I think it will be a problem. Thank you for the follow, Tick. Sourcing support said F God today. Oh no. Sourcing. No.
Why are you like the sourcing?
I'm
not even that bad.
I said F a lot.
Now I can hear. Oh yeah, I say the F word a lot, but I don't say it like that.
And the Supreme Court situation, things looking pretty dire. Yeah, they look dire, but I don't think, and excuse the pun, the Marvel pun, but I don't think we're in the end game. I really don't. So what I would say is get informed, get organized at the local and state level, because this is going to potentially get really bad if we don't, you know, put up.
Carlos's new house is.
Nice. If we don't get organized and we don't get informed about how to exert, just how the right has figured out how to exert its agenda or its power, we need to figure that out. As there's literally an entire operation led, and we talked about this yesterday, led by Steve Bannon, who is urging people, and you know Steve Bannon is a very effective propagandist and media person, is rallying people to get involved with local city councils and state governments and state GOP governments, so they understand the importance of getting involved in the local and state level. So that's the answer right there, Tater. Bannon can X my YPG-13 style. I restrain myself here. This is certainly a time for many expletives. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Just eat your vegetables in the gym to be big and strong. True. After gerrymandering, every state might look politically like Texas, maybe, but I don't think it'll be like that. I think that it will further entrench the Democratic areas, and it will further entrench the GOP areas. And if the Supreme Court doesn't step in, then it's going to cause an all-out gerrymandering war, which is not good, not democratic. And I think that the fact that the Supreme Court has decided to opt out of being a referee of gerrymandering is problematic. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's not. I get it. I get it that things look dire, but it's not completely lost. Bannon gets paid every time Seinfeld broadcasts. What? Is that for real? Was he in Seinfeld?
Here we go, Sam.
ADT is better than coffee. True. Oh, he was an executive producer? What? I didn't know that. I'm asleep now. See ya. Get some rest, buddy.
Here we go, fam.
I renew my commitment to eat as much organic food as I can afford. Yeah, sure, that's excellent. I highly encourage that that you're vaccinated. Absolutely. Before Breitbart, he was a Wall Street money. Yeah, we can see. Before Breitbart, he was a Wall Street money guy for Hollywood. Wow. Alright, I'm getting off focus. So point is, yes, it is dire, but there are still things that we can do, and get organized. Get organized, get organized, get organized. If you're, I mean, especially like with these Republicans trying to do away with abortion like that, get organized.
Jesus, there's a little baby squirrel.
Why would Automod catch that? I don't get it.
I wish you could feel this air, Carlos. It's 72 degrees.
Nice.
Summer is gone, friend. Fall is here. The leaves are already starting to turn a little bit.
Nice.
Whoa! The fuck was that? Oops. Sorry, there goes my favorite word.
There's hope even if you're not super into lots of veg. Thank you, fall, true. It was 100 degrees yesterday in Texas. Hey, spread it forward. Don't fall for the squirrels. No, they're fine. That's wild. Yes, Larry actually pointed that out. Triple digits in Texas.
Yeah,
but you know,
that. Summer's over here.
But you know, it's totally normal stuff.
Business as usual, man.
All right,
Don't
folks.
You know?
All right, so Amy Klobuchar has come out, and after the Supreme Court failed to take any action regarding the Texas abortion law, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar called for immediate action from Democrats in the wake of the Supreme Court following allowing Texas restrictive abortion law to stand, and said the filibuster... What?
Cow.
Oh, cows. Should be abolished in order to codify abortion right protections. The House is already taking measures to do so. I believe they're bringing up a bill and to kind of codify that into law. Now and over the next years, we will just get nowhere if we keep this filibuster in place. Yeah, no kidding. The Minnesota Democrat who had previously come out against ending the filibuster to address issues like voting rights and climate change told CNN's State of the Union on Sunday. I do not believe an archaic rule should be allow us to put our heads in the sand to use Justice Sonia Sotomayor's words. To put our heads in the sand and not take action on important issues is an assault on women's health. True. And worst of all, it's an assault on bodily autonomy. Not normal for September. Some public pools are already closing. Yikes. House Speaker Pelosi said last week that the chamber would take legislative action when the House returns from recess, and brings up Congresswoman Judy Chu's women's health protection to enshrine into law reproductive health care for all women across America. Yeah, because this is where we're at. They should have done this. They should have done this a while ago.
Alright guys, I made it to the liquor store. I'm gonna run inside. Y'all take care of the Jeep while I'm gone.
Alright.
Locks in the center console if you need it.
Not normal for September. Some public schools are already closing. It's also an assault on democracy because of the majority of people support Roe v. Wade and opposing these abortion restrictions. True. Been better. True. True. At the end of the day, it's all about it's all about control. That's what it is. The abortion issue is just about control. That's it. That's it. Closing due to budget, not support them to keep them open. Gotcha. That's it. At its core, the issue with abortion is that they want to control women. That's it. To conservatives, women are nothing but to conservatives, women are nothing but birthing pods. Oh look, I made a new word. Yes, applying your own morals on other people's bodies. True. Yeah, that's it. It's just the control thing. Really, that's what it is at the end of the day. But even if a bill were to pass the House, it is likely to face hurdles in the Senate, where Democrats hold a narrow majority and 60 votes are required to break the filibuster. There's no indication and Republican senators would side with them on the issue. Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. In a midnight order last week, the High Court denied a request from abortion providers to stop the state law that bans abortion after 6 weeks, despite the fact that it violates Roe v. Wade, a 1973 opinion legalizing abortion prior to viability. The Texas law, which is one of the strictest in the country, has drawn outrage from Democrats and sparked concerns that the Supreme Court could overturn or undercut the long-standing decision. This decision that they made with the state of Texas is unbelievable, Klobuchar said. Here you have them this week, basically telling women in Texas that 85% of them seeking abortion services cannot exercise their constitutional rights, and basically greenlighting a law that is blatantly against Roe v. Wade. That's correct. Now, they are going to fight this law. There is going to be litigation, but the fact that the Supreme Court didn't just outright smack it down immediately because of its blatant violation to precedent is truly, truly disturbing. And remember, I don't want to say a long time ago, but almost 2 years ago, I said, hey, the ramifications of a Trump presidency will be huge. One of them being the Supreme Court.
Alright, Sam. I'm pretty happy with my decision here.
What is that? Oh, nice. I mean, it looks fancy.
I should have gotten something American since it's Labor Day, but oh well.
They also love to punish people with a uterus for having sex. That's right, because if you get an abortion, then anybody who aids and abets you is is liable for $10,000 in a civil suit. So
right, whatever you do, don't be an Uber driver and drive somebody to the clinic.
Yeah, by accident. Even though, how are you supposed to, like, do you see like all the myriad of problems of how that could go wrong? You know what? I have a perfect solution to I saw this on Twitter, and I echoed the sentiment, and I re-echoed the sentiment. Here's my solution, or here is the solution that somebody proposed, which I think should be echoed. All right. In Texas, as long as this rule is in place, every woman who is going to have, intimate relations with a man should ask the man to have a $10,000 retainer. Just in case, so that women are protect themselves. If you want to sleep with somebody, then you must have $10K as retainer. Easy. Impeach the justices who refused to protect women's rights. Yeah, well, it would have been nice, as always, preventing this whole entire thing from the beginning. Oh god, it's so frustrating. What immediate legislation or something has anyone proposed to deal with this abortion law, mass evictions, or voting rights? I've checked the website, but it's so hard to hear Congress just express themselves while we come up with solutions to march for. Well, Sandera, it seems like the House is trying to codify this into law. However, the problem with that is the House may pass this, it may codify Roe v. Wade into law, send it to the send it to the Senate, which will go nowhere as long as as long as the filibuster is in place. It will go nowhere. Yeah, the snitch thing is so wild. Good plan, except gonna be hard to get a retainer from assaulters. True. True, Jamtoom. True. Yikes. Maybe it wasn't as foolproof as I thought. But yeah, the reality is the law is absurd. The law is absolutely absurd. Imagine deputizing citizen against citizen. Imagine. Or just outright say, like, you know what? All just the point is to make them change the law, not actually get any retainers. Yeah, true. It's like a symbolic kind of like, all right, well. I think that the best thing that we can do is get organized. Just imagine the lawsuits backlog, the discovery process would be complete chaos, yeah, and I think that's ultimately I think I think ultimately the law is going to be doomed, but
I just got wet, god damn it.
What happened?
I went through a puddle and there was like a drop off in the puddle, and when my wheel went down it spun a little bit. It threw the water right up at me. Alright, now
nice.
Country living. Y'all gotta stop, because only one car go across the bridge at a time.
Texas judge will have to make a change because of the logistics of executing the cases. Yeah, I mean, like, it seems to me like it is alarming and it is disturbing that this is where it's heading. But I don't know just how long that bill is going to last. But if it is allowed to stand and it is not challenged, that is going to be deeply disturbing, because that's going to set a precedent and a blueprint across the board. I see that other states are thinking about doing something similar to the Texas law, including Florida, so yeah. If it is allowed to stand, and also, we could get slippery, like an unironic slippery slope, where the Constitution is not going to matter, and then folks are just going to go buck wild by saying, like, oh yeah, we're going to do X, Y, and Z law, and we're just going to make the citizens enforce it by civil lawsuits. And that's how we're going to bypass the Constitution. Yeah, Texas and Florida race to the bottom, true. Alright, folks. So yes, Amy Klobuchar is calling for the removal of the filibuster to try to codify Roe versus Wade, which is, like, really? We have all of these problems, and you have the ability right now to fix it. You have the ability to fix it, so do something. Please.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Exxon slammed as climate hypocrites for sending thoughts and prayers to Ida victims. This is so insensitive. Major oil companies are being pilloried on social media for sending thoughts and prayers to victims of Hurricane Ida while sidestepping their role in the ongoing climate disaster. At least 2 ExxonMobil outposts in Beaumont and Baytown, Texas, tweeted the messages on Monday using the hashtag #LouisianaStrong. Yeah, screw you. Especially in particular with ExxonMobil. Screw you. In the wake of Hurricane Ida, our thoughts and prayers are with the Gulf Coast colleagues, friends, and neighbors in Louisiana. Yeah, screw you, dude. Screw you. Moreover, in the last 80 years, Louisiana has roughly 2,000 square miles of coastal wetlands, according to USGS. The major factors contributing to the decline of natural storm barriers are offshore oil rigs, onshore wells, and refineries operating on the shoreline. Yeah, it's because of you. ExxonMobil. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. The death toll from Hurricane Ida is now nearing 50 after the storm tore a path through the South Mid-Atlantic northeastern U.S. This is not the first time the fossil fuel industry has been rebuked for sending thoughts and prayers in the wake of disaster exacerbated by climate change. For years, as the climate crisis intensifies, oil companies have extended social media messages of sympathy without addressing climate change and the roles of fossil fuel emissions at the root of the problem. Well, it's one of, that's for sure. Chevron's Houston account extended its thoughts in the midst of a deadly Category 4 Hurricane Laura last year. During Hurricane Harvey, Exxon encouraged Texans and Louisiana to stay strong, and to say that both disasters were intensified by the impacts of climate change. Ahead of the latest IPCC report released earlier this month, and its dire warning that global heating will probably reach 1.5 degrees Celsius within the next 2 decades, oil companies filled their feeds with renewable energy pledges, claims of green accomplishments, and sustainability buzzwords. That's literally all it is. Buzzwords. If we end up moving to a new planet, we gotta ban all these billionaire pollution companies and CEOs. True. I mean, like, I don't know. Texas and Florida politicians race to the bottom. True. Exxon knew about climate change half a century ago. They deceived the public, misled their shareholders, and robbed humanity of a generation's worth of time to reverse climate change. True. Not only that, they're still they still like lie about it. I hate this demonization of entire states that happen every time some news comes out. You know what? Maybe you're right. Okay, so maybe we should be better. You're right. Spread it forward. I apologize. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I understand that, like, Florida, especially being a Florida man, gets a rap, but, like, unironically, these are individuals' policies that are being put in place by certain people. Not everybody. And, like, it's not a monolith. But yes, you're right. Spread it forward. It leads to people unironically calling for Texas to be carpet bombed. Yikes, yeah, no. I don't want to see that here. I don't want to see that here. But you're right. Spread it forward. You're right. No state or country is ever a monolith. True. Like they're people. Yeah. That's true. Yes, that's very true. I gotta be more specific about that. Fossil fuel facilities are in fact vulnerable to extreme weather. Millions of Texans were left freezing after a severe winter storm and power outage earlier this year. Fossil fuel energy generating stations were knocked offline, and oil refineries, chemical manufacturers, and other industrial plants in the state emitted about 3.5 million pounds of excess pollutants into the air. Yes, Quinn Better, we do. Because, unfortunately, Spread It Forward is right. I've had to unironically, I've seen unironically comments like what Spread It Forward just put. I hate that we could totally end world hunger for like 60 years, make a major climate change impact, and still have enough money left over, and other countries won't hate us as much, but we would rather just not. True. Hey Brie, I think you disconnected here. Maybe it's just a signal. Yep, there she goes. Oh, wait.
I think maybe it got confused when I got home. Hello?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think what happened is I got home and connected to the Wi-Fi and it got confused. I finally realized why one of my O-rings was popping out on one of the new mirrors, because I think I accidentally installed both O-rings into one mirror.
Well, you figured it out.
But it's pretty cool. So when I have the doors on, I just take them, leave the mirrors out, and I'll keep them in a bag attached to the back of my seat. And then when I'm ready to take the doors off, if I'm at my friend's house in Alabama or something, or North Carolina, and I want to take the doors off there, well, normally like my mirrors and stuff would be at home. Now all I do is pull out the mirror, unscrew this little knob, and then attach it to the handle. I'll turn the camera around and show you in just a second. Hold on. But pretty cool. Met the owners of this company at the Jeep Fest.
Nice.
Told them about our old Jeep and they hooked us up with some stuff for the new one. But anyways, let me show you real quick. Basically, got this handle here that attaches, and this is billet aluminum. It's not going anywhere. I already have on this one ball mount, that's where this mount thing for my phone is. And then down here is where you just stick the mirror through the slot and then put the knob on, and you can adjust the mirror however you want. And the mirror also has another RAM mount on it, so you can attach a GoPro or whatever you want to it. And I got one on each side, of course. They make them for the back. I never have passengers, so backseat modifications for my Jeep, they're just always on the bottom of the list.
Well, that's fine. Makes sense.
Sorry, Carlos.
Makes sense.
It's just that it is what it is on that, I'm thinking what I did was I accidentally put both O-rings on one mirror, because that other one had 2 O-rings in it. Either that or they gave me one. Nope, I think they just gave me one extra O-ring is what it looks like. Well, that's good. Knowing me, I'll lose one.
There you go.
I'll go put it in the box. Yeah, I even got a cool little, I'm going to use one of my old bourbon bags from 4th of July a couple years ago. To
Nice.
Put the mirror in. And then, here, I'll show you real quick. I have Molly stitching on the back of my seats so we can put store stuff on them. So, like, I have this bag here, for example, attached to the back of the seat. Would be perfect to put those mirrors in. And I'll put it in something like this to keep them from getting scratched. But yeah, a handle and a mirror. And someday we'll get a little camera mounted up here for you guys so you can watch us off-road. My garage is a mess. Do not judge me.
Nice. Alright, so TLDR, Exxon, Mobil, pretty rich.
Fuck them.
Yeah, go F yourselves.
Fuck them, bitches.
Now there's a difficult truth. Here's a difficult truth.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said the word again. Fuck. I mean, crap.
Fudge.
Frick. I'm not feeding you again. You just ate. Can y'all tell these chickens? They just ate like 15 minutes ago, and they need to calm the flock down.
Calm the flock down. Wait.
Look at them. They're begging for food. You're full.
Are you okay, Jeff? Well, hold on. Women used to die during childbirth. They're nothing more than a host. For 9 months, the sperm is leaving the egg, and her body are nothing more than a source of protection and nutrition. The inventions of men not only kept them alive, but also gave them what level of equality they do have, and when they got their rights. As a result, they turned the country into this neurotic obsession with safety and security, like overbearing mother. Wear your coat, eat your vegetables, and get your jab. Yeah, this is obviously blocked because I'm not going to let that comment go through. I just wanted to just reiterate the importance, reiterate the fact that the abortion argument is always just about control. So, you know, that was amazing. Yeah, dude.
Just can't.
Yeah, dude.
That's a big yikes.
Yeah, that's a huge yikes for me. Yeah, please tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that one go through,
Have you
buddy.
heard about our Lord and Savior?
I mean, like,
I'm crying, y'all. I'm crying. I just can't.
so yeah, definitely. Like I said, like I said earlier, how conservatives think about women, and this person just proved it to me. Is how conservative people, folks consider women. All they are just birthing pods. Oh God, I bet he was raised by a mommy. I bet he's a liberal. Oh,
I'm gonna cry.
yes,
gonna cry.
because liberalism. Liberalism means when you get raised by your mommy. Are you sure you're not projecting there, buddy? Is there something that you want to tell us? Anyways, I hope, no kidding aside, I hope that one day, like honestly, all kidding aside, I hope that one day you would look back on this moment and cringe and maybe have some critical thinking and introspection about what these positions are and how they are essentially dehumanizing women. And I hope that one day you'll change your mind or get a hobby or something. Wait, so conservatives don't want us raised and so conservatives don't want us raised by stay-at-home moms, right? They simultaneously are saying that they simultaneously make fun of people who are raised by moms, but also at the same time, wait, that is also the only thing a mom should be doing. They make fun of people for being raised by mothers, but also simultaneously say that mothers need to stay home and be birthing pods and stay in the kitchen. Like, do you see how illogical all of these positions? It just doesn't make sense. But you know what? Fundamentalist, like religious stuff, makes it so that you can hold these positions simultaneously in like a double think method.
Hopefully this tastes better than the last bottle of scotch I got. The last bottle was like, whoa.
Yeah, pro-birth but anti-people. Yeah, like the whole like pro-life thing is one giant misnomer. They're nothing but they are not pro-life. Feminism destroyed the nuclear family, and that's the number one problem. But if your mom raises you, then you're a cuck. True. True. Yeah, it's a misnomer. It's anti-choice, not pro-life. There's nothing pro-life about their positions. Anyways, all right, folks, we gotta focus. Divers identify broken pipeline as a source of Gulf oil spill. I didn't even know about this because, you know, these catastrophes happen so much that it's hard to like keep track of it all. Divers at the site of an ongoing oil spill that appeared in the Gulf of Mexico after Hurricane Ida have identified the apparent source of 1-foot diameter pipeline displaced from a trench on the ocean floor and broken open. Yeah, so tell me again why we should continue to use fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels are the best.
Fossil fuels, fossil fuels. We want fossil fuels.
True. Conservatives aren't pro anything, it's entirely reactionary negative position. Well, I mean, I suppose in their head they are.
Much.
Talos Energy, the Houston-based company currently paying for the cleanup, said in a statement issued that the busted pipeline does not belong to them. The company said it is working with the U.S. Coast Guard, among other state and federal agencies, to coordinate the response and identify the owner of the ruptured pipeline. 2 additional 4-inch pipelines are also identified in the area that are open and apparently abandoned. The company's statement did not make clear if the oil was leaking from the 2 smaller pipelines, but satellite image reviewed by the Associated Press on Saturday appeared to show that at least 3 different slicks in the same area drifting more than dozens of miles. Jesus Christ, this is another freaking catastrophe. This is a catastrophe. This is so frustrating. This is so frustrating. I mean, like, this happens all the time. And, like, mind you, this was because, according to this was because of Hurricane Ida. And...
Makes sense.
And yeah, right. It makes sense because of, you know, the hurricane busted up the pipes and the oil rigs that are down there, or that are in the Gulf. The problem is, as global warming gets exacerbated, these hurricanes are going to be much stronger. Like, they're going to be more... major storms are going to be more frequent. And therefore, it's just going to continue to perpetuate this problem where it destroys these antiquated, uncared for pipelines and refineries and cause even more destruction. And it's just like a continuous like cycle of
But I've been alive for 63 years. It doesn't get any hotter. It's hot every summer. It never changes.
Yeah, it never changes, except it does. Hurricanes actually happen every year.
Guys, sometimes I use my sarcasm.
No, yeah, it's clear. And a huge surprise, hurricanes actually happen every year and should be accounted for when designing systems. Amazing.
Really?
And what's worse about this whole thing is that these hurricanes that are coming, as climate change progresses, are going to get more severe. So the chances of this happening are going to get more and more and more, and the cycle of destruction just keeps going, and it's quite frustrating. I never say when I shock myself. Oof. Well, I'll give it a small pass because I see that it's sarcasm, but I prefer I prefer that we keep it PG-13. Story Girl, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. So TLDR, as climate change progresses, this is going to be a problem, and just further makes the argument as to why we need to get off fossil fuels, as to why we need to do everything that we can in as quickly and in as many ways as possible to get off fossil fuels, because like this is just going to get worse. Our oceans are basically Chernobyl, something like that. For all intents and purposes, like truth and like the destruction that oil spills the destruction that oil spills do to the wildlife and to the ecosystem is horrible. It's horrible. And it's really sad.
Yep, but people don't think that it's a problem for some reason.
For some reason.
We've been having things like this happen ever since I was a kid. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, you just touched on it. If you've noticed these things happening from the time that you were, so that means it is a problem. And the forest fires, bushfires, droughts.
Lady in the viral video, I'm just trying to help you, mother.
Yeah, the forest and bushfires. Droughts, water shortages, flash flooding, hurricanes. I mean, buyout the oil company so the profit motives are no longer affect our policy decisions. That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought. All right, folks, it is time.
What?
We are continuing our journey in the IPCC report. We are at page 75. I'm going to post the thing in chat. And we've been narrating the IPCC report technical summary, and we're close.
I have a lot of faith in these two ratchet straps.
Nice. The number of industries we should be buying out is vast. I mean, like, I would say that there's an argument for why power energy companies shouldn't be private. I mean, like, we saw what happened with Texas and California with their blatant disregard for keeping up their systems. They were directly contributing to a lot of people's suffering and death because of their negligence. And of course, in Texas, there was also the add-on of policy failure of no regulation whatsoever.
Right.
So there's that to add on to that. So I mean, disaster is all I can think of. Inherently politically climate catastrophe. Yep. All right, folks. Let me post the link again. Page 75. Post link. Post link.
Post it up.
Here's one last time for the picture. Just, you know, before we go into Doom. One more time, the cute picture of the chickens, of the baby chickens. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Before we get into some Doom. Isn't that cute? That's right, cute chickens. Okay, folks. When including other GHGs, the choice of emission metric affects the quantification of net zero GHG emissions and their resulting temperature outcomes. High confidence. Reaching and sustaining net zero GHG emissions typically leads to a peak and decline in temperatures when quantified with the global warming potential over a 100-year period. Carbon cycle responses are more robust, accounted for in emission metrics compared to AR5 high confidence. New emission metrics approaches can be used to generate equivalent cumulative emissions of CO2 for short-lived greenhouse gases based on the rate of emissions. Over a 10 to 20 year timescale, the temperature response to a single year's worth of current emissions of SLCFs is at least as large as that of CO2, but because of the effect of SLCFs decays rapidly over the first few decades after emissions, the net near long-term temperature response to a single year's worth of emissions is predominantly determined by cumulative CO2 emissions. Emission reductions in 2020 associated with COVID-19 containment led to small and positive global ERF. However, global and regional climate response to the forcing are undetectable above internal variability due to the temporary nature of emission reductions. Jesus Christ. In other words, despite the reduction in output, despite the reduction in emissions during the pandemic, like quote-unquote lockdowns, it basically was it basically negated itself. So for all intents and purposes, although there was a reduction of emission output, it is undetectable above internal variability due to the temporary nature of emission reductions. That's basically it. If I was a baby chick, I would simply not age so I could stay that way forever. Same. Same. Hey, no comment, chick. I hope you're doing alright.
If only people could exercise a little common sense. But you know what they say about common sense, right?
If only.
It ain't that common anymore.
Well, given our response and given our response to COVID, I tend to agree with that assessment. The relative climate effects of... Wait, I think your camera is off.
Yeah, I turned it off. I'll turn it back on in a minute.
Oh, no worries. No, I thought it was like something with Discord. No worries. Whenever. The relative effects of climate are of different forcing agents are typically quantified using emission metrics that compare the effects of idealized pulse of 1 kilogram of some climate forcing agent against a reference climate forcing agent, almost always CO2. The two most prominent pulse emission metrics are global warming potential and global temperature change potential. The climate response to CO2 emissions by convention includes side effects of warming on the carbon cycle, so for the consistency these need to be determined or non-CO2 emissions. The methodology for doing this has been placed on a more robust scientific footing compared to the AR5. Nice. High confidence methane from fossil fuel sources has slightly higher emission metric values than those from biogenic sources since it leads to additional fossil CO2 in the atmosphere. High confidence. Updates to the chemical adjustments for methane and nitrous oxide emissions and revisions on their lifetime results in emission metrics for GWP and GTP that are slightly lower than the AR5, medium confidence. Emission metrics for the entire suite of GHGs assessed in the AR6 have been calculated for various time zone horizons. New emission metric approaches such as GWP and combined GTP relate changes in the emission rate of short-lived greenhouse gases to equivalent cumulative emissions of CO2 emissions. Cumulative CO2 emissions. Global surface temperature response from aggregated emissions of short-lived greenhouse gases over time is determined by multiplying these cumulative CO2 minus E. Wait, is it minus E? Oh, equivalent. What? Oh, is that a cat?
Look at the giant boy.
Hello. Kona coffee is one of the worst coffee around. I've never had Kona coffee.
I couldn't help myself. He looked really damn cute. And I felt like you needed to acknowledge him.
Of course. Yeah, let her pick her nose in peace. God. Thank you for the follow, Quinn Better. Appreciate that.
I'm crying.
Alright, we are here. When GHG are aggregated using standard metrics such as GWP, our GTP cumulative CO2 emissions are not necessarily equivalent. CO2 equivalent emissions are not necessarily proportional to future global surface temperature outcomes. High confidence. Emission metrics are needed to aggregate baskets of gases to determine net zero GHG emissions. Generally, achieving net zero CO2 emissions and declining non-CO2 radiative forcing would halt human-induced warming. Interesting. Would halt human-induced warming, reaching net zero GHG emissions quantified by GWP minus 100 typically leads to declining temperatures after net zero GHG emissions are reached if the basket includes short-lived gases such as methane. In other words, we have to reduce methane as well. That should be a target. Thank you for the follow, Sidewalk Connoisseur. Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
We appreciate all of you. Don't let Carlos confuse you.
That's right. We appreciate all of you. Net zero GHG emissions.
One of you.
Cheers. Net zero GHG emissions defined by CGTP or GWP implied net zero CO2 along other long-lived GHG emissions are constant and constant CGTP are gradually declining GWP emissions of short-lived gases. The warming evolution resulting from net zero GHG emissions defined in this way corresponds approximately to reaching net zero CO2 emissions and does not lead to declining temperatures after net zero GHG emissions are achieved, but to an approximate temperature stabilization. Gotcha. High confidence. The choice of emission metric hence affects the quantification of net zero GHG emissions and therefore resulting temperature outcome of reaching and sustaining net zero GHG emissions levels. Well, it's a different time zone. High confidence. As pointed out by Era 5, ultimately it's a matter of policymakers to decide which emission metric is most applicable to their needs. This report does not recommend the use of any specific emission metrics, as the most appropriate metric depends on the policy, goal, and context. A detailed assessment of GHG metrics to support climate change mitigation and associated policy context is provided in the Working Group 3 contribution to the AR6, which is going to be released afterwards. The global surface temperature response following climate change mitigation measures that affect emissions, both short and long-lived climate forces, depend on their lifetimes, their ERFs, and how fast and for how long the emissions are reduced, and the thermal inertia in the climate system. Mitigation, relying on emission reductions and implemented through new legislation or technology standards, implies that emission reductions occur year after year. Global temperature response to a year's worth of current emissions from different sectors informs about the mitigation potential. Over 10 to 20-year timescales, the influence of SLCFs is at least as large as that of CO2, with sectors producing the largest warming being fossil fuel production and distribution, agriculture, and waste management. So these are the things that we need to focus on. The net long-term temperature effects from a single year's worth of current emissions is predominantly determined by CO2. Fossil fuel combustion for energy and industry and land transportation are the largest contributing sectors over a 100-year timescale. High confidence. Current emissions of CO2, N2O, and SLCFs from East Asia and North America are the largest regional contributors to additional net future warming on both short-term, medium confidence, and long-term scales, 10 and 100 years high confidence. So yeah, I mean, it's again very clear what we're supposed to be doing. We need to mitigate, reduce, and eliminate fossil fuel production, methane release from the agriculture and animal agriculture section, and waste management. I mean, it's been a theme in this entire report. COVID restrictions lead to a detectable reduction COVID-19 restrictions led to detectable reductions in global anthropogenic NOx and fossil fuel CO2, which estimates 7%, which estimate ranges from 5.8 to 13%. Emissions driven largely by reduced emissions from transportation sector. There's high confidence that, with the exception of surface ozone, reductions in pollutant precursors contributed to temporarily improved air quality in most regions of the world. However, these reductions were lower than you would expect. Now, that would be expected from sustained implementation of policies addressing air quality and climate change. Overall, the net ERF from COVID-19 containment was likely small and positive for 2020, with a temporary peak value of less than 0.2 WM minus squared, which is, I guess, as I was saying before, the equation to figure out ERF, thus temporarily adding to the total anthropogenic climate influence with positive forcing warming influence from aerosol changes dominating over negative forcing cooling influence from CO2, NOx, and contrail cirrus changes consistent with the small net radiative forcing and against a large component of internal variability. Earth system models show no detectable effect on global or regional surface temperature or precipitation. Yeah. Nice. And so COVID was created to convince us to accept the evil Green New Deal. Correct. That was the plan this whole time. Alright, I think we're gonna go over this one page, and because my voice is like already dying. Climate and air quality response. to short-lived climate forces and shared socioeconomic pathways. Future changes in emissions of short-lived climate forcers are expected to cause additional global mean warming with a large diversity in the end-of-century responses to Working Group 1 core set of SSPs, depending on the level of climate change and air pollution mitigation. This additional warming is either due to reductions in cooling aerosols for air pollution regulation or due to increases in methane, ozone, and HFCs. This additional warming is stable after 2040 in SSPs associated with low global air pollution as long as methane emissions are also mitigated. But the overall warming induced by SLCFs, or short-lived climate forcers, changes is higher in scenarios in which air quality continues to deteriorate induced by growing fossil fuels use and limited air pollution control. High confidence. Sustained methane mitigation reduces global surface ozone, and sustained methane mitigation reduces global surface ozone, contributing to air quality improvements and also reduces surface temperatures in the longer term, but only sustained CO2 emission reductions allow for long-term climate stabilization. Future changes in air quality, near surface ozone and particulate matter, or PM, at global and local scales are predominantly driven by changes in ozone and aerosol precursor emissions rather than by climate change. Rather than climate. Air quality improvements driven by rapid decarbonization strategies as in SSP 1 to 1.9, SSP 1 to 2.6 are not sufficient in the near term to achieve air quality guidelines set by the World Health Organizations in some highly polluted regions. High confidence. Jesus Christ. Air quality improvements driven by rapid decarbonization strategies, are not sufficient to determine, not sufficient in the near term to achieve air quality guidelines set by the WHO. Additional policies, example, access to clean energy, waste management, envisaged to attain United Nations Sustainable Development Goals bring complementary SLCF reduction. The net effect of SLCF emissions change on temperature would depend on how emissions of warming and cooling SLCFs will evolve in the future. The magnitude of cooling effect of aerosols remain the largest uncertainty in the effect of SLCFs in the future climate projections. Since the SLCFs have undergone large changes over the past 2 decades, the temperature and air pollution responses are estimated relative to year 2019 instead of 1995 to 2014. In the next 2 decades, it is very likely that SLCF emission changes will cause a warming relative to 2019 across the Working Group 1 core sets of SSPs, in addition to warming from long-lived GHGs. The net effect of SLFC and HFC changes in global surface temperature across the SSP is a likely warming of 0.06 degrees Celsius to 0.35 degrees Celsius in 2040 relative to 2019. This near-term global mean warming linked to SLCFs is quite similar in magnitude across the SSP due to competing effects of warming, methane zone, and cooling aerosols forcers. There's greater diversity in the end-of-century response among the scenarios. SLCF changes in scenarios with no climate change mitigation will cause a warming likely in the range of 0.4 to 0.9 degrees Celsius in a 2100 relative to 2019 due to increase in methane, tropospheric ozone, and HFC levels. For the stringent climate change and pollution mitigation scenarios, SSP 1.9, SSP 1 to 2.6, the cooling from reduction in methane, ozone, and HFCs partially balances the warming from reduced aerosols, primarily sulfate, and the overall SLC effect is likely increase in global surface temperatures of 0.0 to 0.3 degrees Celsius in 2100 relative to 2019. With intermediate climate change and air pollution mitigations in SLCFs in SSP 2 to 4.5 at a likely warming of 0.2 to 0.5 degrees Celsius to global surface temperature change in 2100, with the largest warming resulting from reductions in aerosol. Assuming implementations and efficient enforcement of both Kigali Amendment and Montreal Protocol of ozone-depleting substances and current national plans limit emissions, as in SSP 1 to 2.6, the effect of HFCs on global surface temperature relative to 2019 would remain below 0.02 degrees Celsius from 2050 onwards versus 0.04 to 0.08 degrees Celsius in 2050 and 0.1 to 0.3 degrees Celsius in 2100, considering only national HFC regulations decided prior to the Kigali Amendment, medium as in SSP 5 to 8.5 medium confidence. Alright. Air pollution projections range from strong reductions in global surface ozone and PM with stringent mitigation of both air pollution and climate change, to no improvement and even degradation, SSP3 to 7.0, without climate change mitigation, with only weak air pollution control, high confidence. Under the SSP3 scenario, PM levels are projected to increase until 2050 over the large parts of Asia, and surface ozone pollution is projected to worsen across all overall continental areas through 2100, high confidence. In SSP5 to 8.5, a scenario without climate change mitigation but with stringent air pollution control, PM levels decline through 2100, but high methane levels hamper the decline in global surface ozone at least until 2080. Yikes. Hey, Surfer Go Goody, what are we all talking about? We are chatting about. We are actually getting ready to close here. We were going over through more pages of the IPCC technical report. In case y'all want to check that out, save that here. So this is where we're at, page 78. I'm going to save that for next time because my voice is already dead. My voice is already dead. Folks, if you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to follow. Don't forget to do the YouTubes. Don't forget to subscribe on the YouTubes. Like, comment, share, do all that stuff. Spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be for news and politics, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Today was a special day where not only did we have the co-host join us for a small Jeep ride, and chickens, yes, chickens. But it was also Labor Day, so we had a little bit of an extended version of the stream. So check us out Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the news and politics. And on Saturdays, Saturday Catterdays, Guaranteed Kitty Cat on stream. So make sure you check us out. Join the Discords, do the social medias. And also, really quick thank you to all the new follows. Sidewalk, Connoisseur, Quinn Better, Story Girl, Tech42, Judgment, Tater, Can't Find a Name Like, and sourcing support with the massive raid. Thank you so much. Darknet, how's it going? Sourcing support with the massive raid. Your Environment Seattle had a good look at the IPCC stuff. Nice. Nice. We are slowly getting through it, Kosa. We're slowly getting through it. I appreciate all your support. You guys are what makes this channel grow, and spread the word far and wide. That's my call to action. If you guys do anything, spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be. Let's see who we're heading out here. Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Your Environment Seattle. So Chap, please. Oh yes, that reminds me. Please follow some of these wonderful folks. Twitch.tv/Zap, Aliosher, and No Comment Chick, and Surfer Girl Gritty. So you'll see them in chat. Please go give them a follow, please. I think we should what day is it today? I think we're gonna raid I can't see that. Oh, it's a cute pupper. It's Oreo. Is that Oreo? Sorry, the colors like from the screen isn't that great. It is Oreo. That's Oreo. Why can't I hear you? I hear you talking. Well, I see you talking, but That's so weird. I see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You tell me this whole time I've been here you can't hear me talking?
No,
No.
I thought you
hell?
were. I thought this was just normal. I thought you. Wow. Okay. Now that I was like actually seeing, I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Why are you like this?
I don't know.
I've been here talking to myself this whole time and just thinking you're ignoring me.
No, I was not. I unironically thought, like, no kidding. I unironically thought you were just like listening.
Why are you like this?
Hey, listen, it isn't a stream. It isn't a stream unless this stuff happens. Okay, it isn't a stream unless stuff like this happens. I honestly thought you just like were just listening to the IPCC report and like you were just like hanging out there chilling, and I was
Why
like,
are
oh,
you
okay,
like-
cool. But
Why? Just why are you like this? I'm trying to send you more photos on Discord, but it keeps freezing on my phone.
yeah, maybe did Discord mute you?
No, because I checked and I wasn't muted.
I checked and you were muted on my end.
Okay, I see what's happening. Hold on. Oh my god, I need more scotch for this.
True, you aren't allowed to unless you have tech issues. Listen, the buck stops here, okay? We're trying to not make that happen.
Hey.
So anyway, folks, as my voice is like already on its fritz as it is,
Amateur.
yeah. As my voice is already on its way out, we do have to get, well, I have to get going.
Amateur.
Are you sick? No, I've literally, unironically, just been talking my, way too much. That's literally all it is. Because, so, as you know, I do, yeah, as you know, I do, customer service over the phone. And these last 2 weeks have been non-stop. These last 2 weeks have been absolutely non-stop with work. So I've been literally talking non-stop for almost 8 hours a day with like, Oreo, with small, I tried, with small amount of breaks. So I've just been constantly talking and talking and talking and talking and talking.
Say hi to the people. Say hi, people. Say
Hello,
hi,
Oreo.
people.
And yeah, so now I don't, so now my voice is limited.
You know what she wants to do? She wants to go watch the you-know-what.
Oh yeah, you can't say it because then she'll freak out, right?
We say little flyaways. That's what we call them. Because
Yes.
if you say the C word or the B word, she knows what they are.
Right, and I assume that this is on speaker, so I can't say it either.
Exactly.
Right.
So we cannot say CHICK or CHICKENS, and we cannot say BABY or the plural.
Because
My
Oreo will,
grandma's the one who decided to call them little flyaways. I thought it was pretty funny. So that's what we've been calling them. And she hasn't picked up on it yet.
that's so funny.
But
And
we've
cute.
been
I
very
mean,
careful.
because then she flips out, right? Oreo flips
Yeah.
out.
She's over there staring at him right now. Here, hold on. Watch.
Alright, I'm gonna mute myself so I can...
Here.
Yeah.
She's staring at him. She's right there staring at him.
Oreo.
Those are hers. Those belong to her.
Alright, I'm gonna mute myself for a second. So, what...
And, man, if one of them gets out and we catch it, she's got to check it all over and make sure it's okay and that it's not hurt and that it's all good
Yeah.
before we put it back in the cage.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Hold on. So, what
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to do the okay symbol anymore.
what
I don't
Bree
wanna
was
be
referring
like those
to...
racist people who use that symbol.
Yeah,
Not my intention. I just literally meant okay.
yeah.
Thumbs up? Still good?
Thumbs up is good. So...
My bad, y'all.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Hold on. So what she
Don't
means?
mistake my new. I heard you. I heard you. You're good. Don't mistake. I'm just going with my own monologue. Don't mind me. Don't
Okay.
mistake my
But we have
It's because
yeah, it's all
that ain't
good.
it. It's just vocabulary's changing a little bit.
It's all good. So yes. So I'm gonna mute myself for a second. What she means is that she can't say the word babies or chickens or chickies because they will Oreo will just like lips
Oh,
out.
guys, I wish you could have seen Jeep Fest this year. It was so crazy. I wanted to call y'all from the trail. I told Carlos that I was gonna call you guys. And then what had happened was we were supposed to be going on a really easy trail, and I got out on the trail and I almost didn't make it back out. It was really, really messed up. I mean, it was bad. We were lucky to get out of there. So that's what happened. I was trying not to die or crash, and that's why you didn't get your call. But
Was there even any signal?
there was on the one trail, and I was so excited because I'm like, oh shit, there's cell signal. And then the trail was really jacked up, and I had to concentrate 100%. So you guys didn't get a phone call.
That's okay.
There were Jeeps in front of me, Jeeps behind me, so I didn't really have, and there's not really spots to pull over per se. So
Is there like pictures or video that you happen to take? Well,
I was trying not to die.
yeah. Oh man, that sucks. I mean,
we went
but
on.
I don't know.
This year, different than last few years since I've lived here, they had more trails than ever. And they actually had a whole bunch, because there's like basically 4 different levels of trail, at least, so to speak. There's actually 5, but only 4 really get discussed. You have easy, moderate, hard, and extreme. So there were supposedly a whole bunch of easy trails this year, which is great for me in a stock Jeep. And to be honest, even some of the moderate trails I went on in a stock Jeep and I never had a problem. Well, this year we had all the storms from the hurricanes and stuff that blew through here right before Jeep Fest, and all the trails just got tore up. And I guess the people with the big Jeeps were nervous about going on the harder trails, so they went on the easy trails, and they just wrecked them for everybody else. They had made those trails for people who didn't have big tires and who weren't lifted, right? And then all these big Jeeps went through them when it was wet. So freaking ruts were like this. It was sketchy. There was this one point where we got to this hill, and it was basically like a mud hole, but a hill climb at the same time. And I actually drove almost all the way up it, but we went up it like this. And
Nice.
by the time I got to the top, we were like this, and we just weren't moving anymore. I'm just like, oh shit. That's it, we're stuck. Somebody's gonna have to pull us out. We're stuck. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a try. I let my foot off the clutch slowly, and I turned my wheel all the way left and all the way right, back and forth, back and forth. And what that did is, even though my tires were in a rut and couldn't go anywhere, by turning them left and right, my front tires eventually grabbed onto something, and we were able to go up the last few feet and get out of it. But even though that was the sketchiest part of the trail, the whole trail was really, really freaky. I mean, it was super muddy, it was super slippery, there were ruts, the trees were literally like this far off the side of the trail. So I'm just basically driving straight at trees that are on the passenger side of the trail, knowing that my Jeep is going to slide down to the driver's side, and hoping I don't smack into any trees.
Well, I mean, you made it.
I made it. We made it through a third of the trail, and it got to a point where you had to go through like a flat spot to get to the last 2/3 of the trail, and I said, fuck this, we're going home. We're not doing any more trails this year.
Yikes.
I knew. I'm like, I got really lucky on this part. We're not going to push this any further. I mean, I think it took us like 30 or 45 minutes just to get through that one little tiny section. And I can show you a map real quick on my phone. Hold on. 'Cause I actually have it And it was supposed to be what they called the mild west. It was supposed to be easy. Give it a second to focus. Hold on. All right, so basically, you see how you have this one line that goes all the way up and down?
Yeah.
We went in and did this first part. And this first part was so fucked up that by the time I got up to the end of it, right here, I turned around and went out. I didn't even go up and do the rest of it. And normally, you know me, Jeep Fest, I'm out there all day, every day on the trails.
I mean, yeah, but I assume that,
Historically, I have done some crazy shit.
Yeah,
Because
but
I accidentally got on extreme trails in a stock Jeep before, and I made it through it. But I had a winch then, and there was a nice person behind me who was willing to get out and help me a lot, so I didn't have that so much this year.
nah, that's way too risky. Nah.
It was sketch. It was sketch as hell. So you have to
Yikes.
understand, you have the trees like right here, and you're driving right here, and you're just like 6 inches from the trees on either side. But your Jeep keeps wanting to slide like this because of the mud, and you're just hoping that you don't slide like this and smack right into a tree the whole way up the trail. It's
Yikes. Well,
So
you made it.
I would say you didn't miss too much this year. I went on the night ride, and I went on part of a trail, and
Yeah.
then we were done. I know
Well, I
when
mean,
happens.
it
I might
seems
be crazy.
it
It
seems like
might seem like I do stupid shit, but I
Yeah.
know when to say, okay,
yeah.
nah,
It
we're
seems
good.
like the universe aligned in a weird way because like I'm telling you, I have checked every day since the
I
start,
believe you.
and I still haven't been able to get a day off. And like
Well,
I'm
you
all
know what? I mean, hey, they got a good donation out of me this year, and I didn't even drive the trails hardly.
nice, and like because I was trying to get well. Not only did I like want to just get out of town for a bit,
Right.
but man, these last 2 or 3 weeks, no, I would say about 2 weeks, have been absolutely intense. And like I was trying to get a reprieve because I'm telling you, my voice is literally dying after 8 hours of constant talking from 9 to 5.
That's not
Sorry,
good.
not 9 to 5, from 11 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. 11:30 to 8 is just like constant, non-stop talking and talking and talking. And like, man, I've been drinking tea with honey, with like just massive amounts of tea and honey to try to like make it better. But after literally this stream, it's this stream hasn't even been that long.
Thank you.
It's only been about 3 hours, and my voice is already
I'm
dead.
trying to put my back seat covers on.
You're being heckled, but you provide a valuable forum. True. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Bring me
So,
liquid death, would you? I don't think he heard me. I'm sorry. Did you hear me, hun? Bring me a liquid death, would you?
all right, folks. I unfortunately got to go.
I just fell.
I'm also starving. Up on top of my like
I am
voice.
starving too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You gotta try that recipe I sent you.
Yeah. All right, folks.
You are missing out.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Darknet. Thank you, Spread It Forward. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for all the new follows. Thank you for all the support. And please, again, make sure you follow. Make sure you do all the social media stuff. Make sure you join the Discords and the Twitters and the YouTubes and all the other stuff. Please, it really does help us out and spread the word far and wide. LOJ, that's where I was looking for a potential house to explore. That area.
Well, that's right off the Carter's Lake.
Nice.
On the island. Anywho, sorry. Don't mind me. I'm photobombing. Go get you some good food like this.
Nice. All right, folks. I do gotta get going. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. We love you all, and we hope to see you guys in the next stream.
In the next stream.
See ya.
Destroy him.
Join. All right, hold on, folks. We're
Rhyme. When you want to say
it's all
stream and
good.
one at the same time, you say rhyme.
That's right. We're heading over to Idan Simpson, folks. So hang tight with us.
Yes,
Please
we
show
want to take a
some.
look at his rhyme.
Yes. Please show some love to Idan Simpson. We're heading out in 5, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Here we go.
Bye.